How excited are you to have that contract signed and to have him here?
Well, he certainly, was another need filler. We had a lot of needs to fill. We had a lot of discussions with ownership about, options that, if we could draw up and pursue. He's a great clutch hitter, and so we're happy that adding the switch hitting ability here, although it's late in his career, is going to benefit us a great deal.
There seems to have been a couple of times where both sides have courted each other. We've heard him loosely connected with the Yankees over the years. Why did the marriage come together this time?
Timing of free agency coincided with need at the same time this time around. The first time around, which was, as he mentioned, maybe 8-9 years ago, might have been a little longer. When he was a free agent, we had Bernie Williams still at the time. And so we already had a big amount of dollars committed to center field for a Yankee great. And so we didn't court him back then. But at the request of Scott Boras, we had a meeting with George Steinbrenner and had to sit down with Carlos. We never made an offer. We acknowledged and respected the great player he was, but we had other needs at the time, and that certainly wasn't one of them. So it was one of those, couldn't spend $30 million to play center field, between both players. So the timing of his free agency back then just wasn't good.
I thought it was interesting during the formal portion of the press conference you mentioned his switch hitting ability. You also have Teixeira, and how that's something that has worked for the Yankees in the past. How much flexibility does that give Joe Girardi, and how important is it that he can do that?
I think there is definitely a key to some of the championship runs that we've had. If you go back '96 and then '98, '99, 2000, and then the world, and then all the playoff appearances, that where we got far but not far enough. But we did have Bernie Williams and Posada, where Joe Torre was able to use that as a great matchup and sprinkle the lineup with those switch hitters to separate the righties and lefties. And then '09 we get back and finally climb the mountain again and get another world title with Joe Girardi. And at that time we had Swisher and Teixeira. And so I think we lost a lot when we lost Swisher's switch hitting ability. We lost a lot last year when Teixeira came out of the lineup because of the injury. Now we get Teixeira back. We had Carlos Beltran. And I think it's going to give Joe a great deal of flexibility and less frustration of how you're going to match up on a daily basis with an opposing team starter, or when opposing managers start bringing in their relievers late in the game against us. I
know the Yankees have to get there first. You have to get to the postseason. But how impressed are you with the postseason numbers that Beltran has put up in his career?
Well, in many a conversation with Hank Steinbrenner, he's constantly had mentioned to me, the acknowledgement of this is a clutch hitter here. This is someone that steps up to the game, and you can count on. This is a game of a lot of failure, but clearly some guys have more success than others. And Carlos Beltran, when the game's on the line, is someone you're going to want at the plate. And that hopefully will work to our benefit now. Finally, we've been able to watch his great career. Whether it's the Mets, the Royals, the Astros, or the Cardinals here more recently, and hopefully he's got some magic left that he can sprinkle here in the Bronx, and our fans will be excited by it.
You've had a busy offseason so far. I know that you will say it's not over yet, but how would you evaluate the job that the organization has done so far in putting pieces in place for 2014?
Well, I think ownership gets massive credit for the commitment level that they continue to make to this franchise, and the only grade that counts in the end is a W, which is wins. And I know our win column is improving with the financial commitments they're providing us, but it's an incomplete. We still got more work to do. I think they get an A+, and I think the rest of us are still under judgment, so to speak.